Hello and welcome to a game of Dota 2. You're watching StarLadder Star Series, and we are in day 17 of Season 8 already. And that means that we're gonna see ourselves a game between Na'Vi and NEXT.kz. Both teams which have been doing okay-ish in StarLadder overall, but with recent results not really all too great. So we're gonna see if they can step up their game a bit. Of course, I am not by myself. I am joined by Mod. Mod, welcome back.
Hello, thank you for having me. Of course, NEXT.kz, you mentioned, of course, not having the greatest recent results, and they've got a bit of a struggle here against Na'Vi. This is going to be one of their hardest games, if not the hardest game of the entire season, of the entire ladder session. They've got to get off to a better draft than what they've had previously. Honestly, they need to be able to pick something that really works for them and can carry them into the late game, rather than picking heroes that they think are going to be effective, because it clearly wasn't effective last time they did it. With Na'Vi, they just have to play their own game. We mentioned how VIII wasn't in a couple of the games recently. He's back now. They've got their full lineup. They're ready to go. And I'm excited to see what they can pull off here. They go for the Enchantress and Clockwork bans. Nice to ban out the Enchantress early on, as NEXT.kz has played that from time to time with Equal. You can see that on the other side, the OD is banned, as it's been giving them trouble recently, and of course the Visage on top of that as well. The first pick is going to come out for Na'Vi. They have a whole lot of options here. Elder Titan is still available. However, with 6.79C, he was nerfed a bit. I'm not sure if that's going to really stop him from being picked and played, but he's certainly still a strong hero nonetheless. With Na'Vi, what will they go for here with this pick? I'm not quite sure, but the draft has started, and so far so good.
Yeah, and a lot of heroes indeed still left in the pool. I mean, Elder Titan indeed, Pugna, Lich. Not really expecting Lich, but he's still an Alchemist. It's a hero that I am expecting, maybe not on Na'Vi's side, but perhaps on NEXT.kz's side. Taking a quick look at the scores, how they are so far. NEXT.kz, even with their previous loss, still on top of the list. And still doing okay for sure. But they can't, well, if they want to be number one, they can't lose the next match, because if they do, well, actually they'd still be higher than Alliance, because they still got more wins. Yeah, they can't drop a ranking right now because they're the only one with 27 points. Na'Vi is very far away from 27 points, because they've played 6 games, lost 3, won 3. They're not doing too hot, so they kind of need to win their matches from this point onward, and then hope that they're still going to be in time to catch that top 4 before the playoffs are going to happen. Of course, there's plenty of time left, I guess. I mean, we are only in day 17 of the 30 days of group stages. There will be 2 breaks in the group stages, between, or at least Christmas is a break with 3 days, and I believe New Year's has got a 2 or 3 day break as well. But we'll see. We'll see who comes out on top of the end. For now, we're going to see if Na'Vi can get themselves the points, or if NEXT.kz is going to continue their streak after a bit of a setback. We are going to see the Elder Titan indeed, and the Alchemist actually, both by Na'Vi. That's interesting to see the Alchemist there, as normally VIII, if he can, he'll play the Lifestealer. NEXT.kz, though, they ban out the hero that they picked up, or they pick up the hero that they banned out last time. The Bristleback, pick up a Crystal Main with that as well. Of course, a great combination to have.
Yeah, it's a good start for them too, and I mentioned last game how Bristleback, he's a tier 2 hero. He's still very strong. I don't know if he's going to be first pick for long enough. I mean, people are going to start seeing that he does have a couple weaknesses. He's not the strongest hero in the mid game, but Elder Titan and Alchemist, on the other hand, are 2 very good pickups for Na'Vi, especially if they play it the way they want to play it. With Elder Titan, they'll probably play it offlane again for Funnick, and he'll get levels as well as experience, grab, of course, well, excuse me, levels as well as gold, grab some items, be effective with natural order. Chen's going to come out for NEXT.kz. They didn't have the Enchantress, but they go for the Chen instead, who's, you know, just as good. And so far, this is a lot better for NEXT.kz. They have something to build around in the Bristleback. They have 2 supports already that are good for roaming and ganking, as well as just being effective in the early stages of the game. They couldn't get the Crystal Main last time, they'll get it this time. And with that, you can see, what are they going to pick up for their mid, what are they going to pick up for their carry. I imagine Bristleback will be an offlane hero, but I'm not necessarily sure. Na'Vi on the other side, they'll have a good start to their draft. They need another support to come out as well. And they can't really grab a Chen or Enchantress, as that would be something Puppy would like. Instead, they go for a Shadow Demon, which has seen not too much play as of recent. Well, I mean, it's getting a little more popular than it was just a couple of months ago, but good pickup for them. Puck comes out for NEXT.kz as well.
Yeah, I'm kind of hoping that with that Shadow Demon, I mean, lately I'm not really that big of a fan of Shadow Demon, but if he is there, then you better have it in combination with a Mirana or with a Luna, or both. And the reason that I say that is because Luna will allow you to copy the Lunas and have more bouncing blades, so the pushing potential gets increased. And of course Mirana, you can have the arrows followed up on it. Of course Shadow Demon Alchemist is a pretty decent combination as well, with the Alchemist just charging up the stun while the disruption is going on. But that's kind of everything that they have with the combination that they have right now. I'm also hoping that Na'Vi is going to go for something that is a bit more aggressive for Denny. They had the mids that Denny played yesterday were just not the kind of heroes that we like to see him play. We like to see him play the heroes that he can just play his own game on, that he can totally get out of control with. Like Puck, but Puck's picked up by NEXT.kz. Puck, though, I mean, he has had a bit of a drop in popularity for sure, because Puck, he does need his Blink Dagger, that's like a given, and if you delay him for getting that, then Puck is going to have a very tough game. And lately, these games, they have just been early aggression from either side, from both sides, and Puck therefore has more troubles getting that Blink Dagger because he's constantly forced to be somewhere to rotate around, and if the fights don't go his way, well, then no Blink Dagger in time for him.
Yeah, but even though, yeah, I mean, you mentioned a good point. He really does need that early Blink Dagger. However, it's going to be tough to gank him with the Shadow Demon and Alchemist on their own. I mean, he'll just lose your orb and jaunt away if necessary. Phase shift as well, because he could phase out that unstable concoction. It's very easy to do that, actually. So, you know, that's going to be, I think that's a huge pickup for NEXT.kz to realize that the gank potential for them isn't there on Navi's side. They're more of a farming, you know, kind of early game aggression-oriented team. You look at Luna, they're going to, you know, try to be aggressive with those 3 heroes plus another, you know, like off-lane or, you know, mid-lane hero, obviously, and then have Luna farm up and be aggressive later on into the game. Even maybe go for some early kills with Lucent Beam or even Eclipse. So it's something like we saw Virtus.pro do last game, albeit a little bit less centralized around their team fight and early game aggression, and more centralized around the Luna late game, despite them having an Elder Titan. So with both teams right now, they have one more pickup to go, and it's going to be interesting to see what they go for, as they need that mid for Navi.
Yesterday, and then he played Elder Titan mid, but he was said he was just not. It wasn't his type of hero. It was too passive. Maybe they're gonna try it again, though. I mean, maybe only trying once wasn't enough to know for sure if it was or wasn't working out. We could also see an Alchemist mid. We've seen. I mean, Alchemist and Elder Titan in different roles, so anything is still possible. I do like the Luna pickup, and I also like that I was right about that. So, patting myself on the shoulder, great. And I'm still having hope for Mirana maybe pick up, because that's just very enjoyable. If we can see a Dendy Mirana, I mean, it might not be a Sing Sing Mirana, but it's still a very good one to watch for sure. I mean, with the Weaver ban out for Na'Vi, Lifestealer is still in the pool. It is actually a hero that I might see. I might like to see more than the Weaver. I wasn't gonna like to see the Weaver anyway, but interesting ban. They go for the Klinks in the end, so this is gonna be our Bristleback going on an aggressive tri lane with, well, probably with the semi-aggressive Chen then. But this is interesting, or maybe that, because I mean, I just don't like a safe lane Klinks with help of supports. Like, he doesn't need supports. Do something else. No,
but they want to get farm for Chen in the jungle. I feel like that's a big pickup for Puppy. I'm surprised they go for the Enigma, but this is a really good lineup, I think, for NEXT.kz. You mentioned they might do an aggressive trial, and I think they're more inclined to send Chen jungle. Klinks will be in his own solo lane, and then dual lane with Bristleback and maybe the Crystal Maiden. I'm not 100% sure if that is going to be the case. They can put support for the Crystal Maiden. That is doable. We'll see what else they want to do. On the other side, I mean, with the... I'm not sure that means that maybe this Alchemist is farming in a certain, you know, because they have the Enigma, so that's going to be their other support. Maybe they send Alchemist mid or Elder Titan mid. Yeah, it's going to be Dandy Alchemist, so he's going to be going mid by all looks of it. Interesting.
Yep. It looks like it indeed. And Kuroki on the Shadow Demon. Oh, it's been a while since I've seen him on that one. And wow, I didn't introduce him at all. Wow, sorry. I want to introduce him still because he's our stats man. And he is the one that just put up that stat. It is Nahaz. You can follow him on @NahazDota on Twitter if you want to, which you should definitely do. He puts out a lot of stats just that are nice to know, like overall stats about the scene on his Twitter, so you can always keep up to date with things that are happening. Let's take a look at who is playing what. Of course, NEXT.kz will be on the Radiant side this game. We are going to see Mantis playing a Klinks this game. Amazing will be on the Crystal Maiden with the mustache. We've got ourselves Equal playing the Chen. He is, by the way, he went full support. Spent all his gold, gave all the tangos away, and only has wards in his inventory, so he went really full support. Reeves, he'll play the Bristleback. He'll be on the Suicide lane. What the fuck, our last one there is going to be the Puck, and he'll be mid. No surprise there, and I think that was indeed everyone, was there? Yes, it was.
Yes, it was. And then on the side of Na'Vi, of course, Down in the bottom lane is going to be that offlane Elder Titan played by Funnick. In the mid lane, you can see that Alchemist going out for Dendy there. Back home already is going to be Puppey on the Enigma up at the top rune spot. And you can see Kuroki is looking for that regen rune, thinking about picking it up. And then in the top lane to round it out, we'll have Faust on the Luna with a nice set as well. And so you're going to see Puppey start in the jungle right now. Chen will do the same there. And Equal is going to look for a creeper, maybe even just a little bit of harass here on the Elder Titan. Funnick, I think he knows what's going on here. He's got, of course, that ward close to the entry to the river, so he's not going to play too aggressively. He'll throw out his Elder Titan Astral Spirit to just get some farm there. He's already taking your Frostbite, but that's not going to matter. He'll just back off. He doesn't have any regen, surprisingly enough. Mance is going to use his Searing Arrows already, but you know, Havosa is going to be doing well in the top lane with Kuroki, just doing some harass to Reeves. He'll take damage, and he'll probably go down a couple times until he gets that Bristleback passive. And all in all, going to be an interesting early game. We'll see how often Puppey wants to roam as well. That'll be the key factor, I think. So the roaming from the jungle for both teams.
Yeah, it really will depend on how aggressive Puppey is. Normally, if he's playing a Chen or Enchantress, he's fairly aggressive. But with an Enigma, he's just staying in the jungle a bit longer than those other two. Of course, his Malefice is still very good to gank heroes with. Though if you want to try and gank a Bristleback, it is going to be tough. Malefice or not, you need something more. You need a brilliant disruption to set up for everybody to get in a perfect position. You need everything to go perfectly well. Otherwise, you might not as well try. I mean, that's just going to be that. I like the Alchemist up against Puck, by the way. With the Acid Spray, well, there's just no way to dodge that. He might phase shift some of it, but he'll still be in the Acid Spray afterwards. So I really like this combination. It also should be putting Dendy in favor of rune control, because with that Acid Spray, he will indeed continuously push the lane out, and therefore force Motherfucker to last hit, otherwise, or to last hit under his tower even, otherwise he'll miss experience, and it will buy time for Dendy to rotate to a rune, which by the way is top, the invisibility rune. And so far, I mean, for the Radiant side, Equal will now scout it out, and I mean, I was gonna say, like, there's no ward up. Can't he not pick it up? There's no ward up at all. There we go. Now they see a rune, because they weren't having any vision on any rune. But he
actually carried the melee creep with him. They could have had Waterfucker pick that up if he really wanted to, but the melee creep had spotted everything out, so that was kind of a bit of a misplay. He also could have picked it up for himself without any problem, even though the melee creep was following him, so that's fine, whatever. Dendy actually got harassed pretty low, and he had to get pushed back to the tower. He does have his bottle now, so he'll be okay. He'll bottle crow for the time being. He was doing some harass to Waterfucker, but right now Waterfucker is doing okay with 7 last hits. You can clearly tell, but 12 for Dendy, and Dendy's really not having a bad time at all. There's some counter warding happening for Equal over here in the bottom rune spot. They just counter warded that, of course, ward here. Yeah, up on the high ground, like you pointed out there. So far, Funnick is just trying to get levels and experience. He's only got 4 last hits, so already you can see that in the top lane. Reeves is doing pretty well with the Bristleback. He does skill that passive right now. It's going to take a little bit more damage to kill him, but they do have Soul Catcher for Shadow Demon, which is a good ability to do that. Also, Black Hole will be a nice gank as well, coming out from Puppey. He does finish up his Soul Ring, which is nice, and he'll now start farming very effectively as the Crow is flying that out to him.
Yeah, and Enigma is considered to be one of the fastest farmers in the jungle that is in the game, so we'll see if Puppey can prove that one. So far so good, I'd say. He is indeed doing very well in terms of farm. We can't really look at his last hits, of course, but with the Soul Ring already ready and we're only 3.5 minutes in, that's a pretty decent result. On top of that, I mean, this is of course something that Na'Vi has an edge in, because of course Chen is farming in the jungle as well, but as just mentioned, Enigma should farm faster than Equal. We'll see if Equal gets himself some good stacks that he can maybe take down with the Wildwing Ripper at some point, as he is trying to stack a bit. He actually missed that stack though. But overall, I think that that's an edge that Na'Vi has. They're going to be able to put to good use. So far though, Puppey, he's rotating. He wants to go for Reeves. He'll get Malefice on his face. There is no Black Hole just yet. The Soul Catcher is there though, but they're just forcing him away. They will try to take down the tower, and they actually might be able to do it. Reeves will still harass a bit. Can't come too close though, not with the Soul Catcher still on him. There we go, it's off right now. There will be another Malefice if they want to, if indeed Reeves dives. Then perhaps they could, but now also Equal rotating in. It's too risky. So I'd say just go back to farming Enigma and the rotation of forcing out the rotation of Equal is actually quite decent.
No, that's what they wanted to do. I mean, they wanted to make sure that he's not farming that jungle. It's either take the tower or force someone out into the lane top and just try to stop them from pushing. And of course, they did force somebody out, so mission accomplished there. They'll keep working on pushing in. They'll keep working on Puppey getting farm, and they'll try again once they know Equal's back down in the jungle. And they'll either have to force him up there again, or if they just take the tower next time. Because I mean, you look at the tower; it's already pretty low. So a nice job there. You mentioned how Na'Vi will have the edge, and they will, because you look at the farmers. Luna will have an edge in farming with, of course, the glaives. You know, you do have Death Pact for Mantis to get a bit more farm, but it's not quite the same. And he is a single target farmer here, but with Searing Arrows he can do a lot of damage, and he'll get farm from ganking early on. So that's really what NEXT.kz has to do. Funnick is just walking through the jungle. Ain't no need. It's not even a problem for him at all. So yeah, I mean, this is just standard gameplay from both teams. No kills, no aggression. Midas is done at 540 though for Mantis. That is an excellently timed Midas. That's really good. That's got there that early. So, but, you know, Hogos might have to pick up his farm just a little bit, because he actually is losing last hits right now. So very interesting that Mantis got that early.
Were we supposed to guess like which two players average a better goal per minute on the Chen? Because if so, then I would guess Puppey and Aki. I don't think that anybody would disagree with me if they were to pick two Chens.
I agree with that, 100%.
Wouldn't be like, I don't know if it was a trivia or not, but oh well.
I'm not sure. Yeah, that was the question, but yeah, that's probably a true statement.
The two best Chens, two of the better Chens on the planet. I can actually say on the planet. That's kind of awesome. It's kind of funny too. We have got ourselves. I mean, what the fuck? I mean, he's not doing bad. I said earlier. Oh, really? Well, you're the stats man. You can't guess.
No, I mean, yeah, he's not looking up. He's not necessarily looking up the answers, not yet. Anyway, I don't know.
Well, we'll see. I like the Puck in this game actually, because he is getting a lot of free time to farm. And I mentioned earlier that Pucks haven't been doing that great because normally they've been forced to rotate early and they've been shut down and everything. But for now, this Puck is doing quite okay. Of course, Dendy is still keeping up with last hits, which is quite impressive as well. But at least Puck is not shut down, and Whatafaka should be able to get his Blink Dagger. We do have another rotation, by the way, with Dendy actually going top as well. They really want to try and take down this Bristleback. Losing Beam coming out, the Malefice will have his last tick. In comes the Disruption straight after, and the Eclipse actually gets popped as well. But the Creep Wave coming in, the Phase Shift is there, Hand of God coming out, keep Reeves safe. Dendy no longer has a stun to throw out, and Reeves will live. An orb gets sent through. Nobody has died just yet, and it looks like it will stay that way, even with Bristleback indeed being close to dead, but not entirely dead, and that's what they wanted.
And this is huge play from NEXT.kz. They'll lose this tower, but that's fine. They want to make sure that Reeves stays alive. This is the problematic time for any sort of Bristleback, and it looks like they're not done going here.
Well, Kuroki can't really do that much with the Disruption coming out there. Has to run back again, taking his team with him. I mean, NEXT.kz can't really initiate either because they don't really have the mana on the Puck to really go in, and the Dream Coil is on cooldown still. So, you know, both of the teams, they want to, but they can't. We do have a Vos going back to farming, no surprise there, although I would hope that for his sake... Oh, wait a second, they're gonna go again, and this time the Black Hole is right there, and they're gonna use that too. I think they should be enough.
If they need to.
Oh my god, he might be able to get a triple kill if he lives long enough. Never mind, Kuroki with the first blood. That was close though. I mean, with 3 stacks already on the quills right there. That's the reason why it's scary to chase down the Bristleback, but in the end, that Bristleback was left alone as the rest of NEXT.kz thought it was safe to leave, but nope, they were wrong.
And I wanted to say that this is the time... Oh god, more action. I guess I'm not going to be able to talk for a while. Oh man,
oh, this is the time where the aggression is going to happen. Mantis, dusted up, smoked up rather. One more punch will do the job. Denny will take it with the haste rune, of course, helping out. And yeah, I think this is the time where rotations are gonna happen, or what were you planning on saying?
Well, that's sort of what I was saying. I mean, yes, this is the time for Navi's aggression. Denny's got farm enough right now. Funnick's, you know, getting levels as well. He's 7, and they took down that tower, as you saw. But really, this is the time for Reeves to stay alive as that Bristleback, and it's been excellent rotations thus far to help him stay alive, because he doesn't have his passive fully skilled up yet. He's just started to get Warpath. He is level 6, so now he's gonna start getting tankier. But you want to make sure he does get those levels to stay tanky, to make sure that he can get there and stay alive throughout entire, you know, early game time. However, he did die once. That's a bit unfortunate. They kind of left him alone. So it's a bit of a good play from Navi to know that they can finally get that kill. However, you know, they usually are very aggressive, and right now they're just trying to farm away. And you can tell they want to get kills. They want to get, you know, They want to be aggressive around the map, and it's just not happening for them right now. They've gotten a couple of kills, 2 kills right now, but you usually see them be more aggressive early on here. So we'll see how it goes throughout, 10 to 15 minutes of time played. Denny's starting to get a lot of farm here, but you look at what Mantis has got. He's got 68 last hits plus his minus. He's already got 1 Oblivion Staff, and this is troublesome because they'll have to deal with the very farmed Clinks in the early stages of the game, and he'll keep getting farmed as well.
Yeah, he is the only one on NEXT.kz that is doing that well, though, with the puck still a bit behind there. He's 800 gold away from his Blink Dagger, so perhaps he can get at that before he dies. He hasn't died yet. Mantis, of course, did die. They did try to shut him down, but they have to continue trying to do that as, for the moment, it is going to be Funnick that's going to be the target. His double damage rune is not going to save his life. If this gank goes off successful, there will be a Nova. Test of Faith, Funnick. He can't run from this, not with those, well, not that those shockwaves going through and the burst coming out. Crystal Maiden's right click gets it. In the meantime, Radiance Courier, I believe it was a Radiance Courier, does go down.
It's Dire's Courier.
Dire's Courier. Mantis was able to take that one, snipe that one, coming into the Dire jungle, making Denny stun himself up, and indeed Dire Courier only had a TP scroll on it.
Yeah, it came through the mid lane, they grabbed the kill easily. Mantis was roaming behind the lines, he grabbed the kill, and he actually got chased for a while. Down bottom, you mentioned how, Funnick not in the best position, definitely was going to go down there. The shockwaves didn't do enough damage to test Faith, it wasn't that big damage either, so he kind of got lucky, he still died anyways. Throw out the Astral Spirit, try to do some damage to these creeps, the Chen creeps, obviously. Havos has actually eclipsed the farm of Mantis for now, but we expected that to happen. Even though he doesn't have his glaives yet, he's going to get farmed very, very quickly. His Helm of the Dominator is actually finished up right now. He decides to not go for a Midas, surprisingly enough. Mantis, however, got a Midas of his own, and, I mean, his second Oblivion Staff is very close to done as well, so 2-1's the score. I don't know, this is going to be a tough mid-game, I think, for Na'Vi, but they do have the Black Holes to really counteract anything, and they're going to have Mecha on Puppy soon as well.
Yeah, one thing that I kind of find eminent about this game, and kind of weird, is that both teams are not quite happy to ward a lot. There's one Observer Ward here for Na'Vi, which is about to disappear, but that's the only Observer Ward on the map. NEXT.kz doesn't have anything apart from a Sentry Ward on the bottom lane. We do have a Smoke Up from Equal, Reeves, and Amazing, by the way. They want to try and go for Denny, who is out of mana, but still already has his Chemical Rage Pop. It's not going to help him out at all. Not gonna help him out at all. Vodafaka with the last hit. He also has his Blink Dagger ready, but it's not yet in his inventory. Oh, Na'Vi is actually thinking about going in. Puppy coming in. Has got that Malefice. They will try to go for this. They get a Black Hole up on 3. Funnick Punch and Equal. Mantis will get dropped inside the Black Hole. Reese will try and live through this all, but I don't think he can. Maybe Vodafaka can make something happen. He jumped himself in. He was able to do some damage, but he didn't get a kill in the end. It is going to be a kill for the Elder Titan, or at least Elder Titan got a double kill, but then died afterwards to the tower. And actually, Puck ended up living, jumped himself out, lives to see another day. It's a 3-for-2 exchange. With Dendy still dying there, of course, well, if I can count that, because he died before the fight actually started, he was picked off. It was a good fight for Na'Vi. Brilliant Black Hole from Puppy, and I mean, it's been a while since we've seen Puppy on an Enigma, but it is his signature hero for a reason, and you can see that again right now.
What a crazy fight. You mentioned Puppy's Black Hole was really on point. Of course, the Eclipse from Havos was great as well. They didn't have Dendy there for that fight. The Shadow Poison Sacks were doing work. Soul Catcher as well. You can't really count out Kuroki's damage, and Funnick to really top it off with the Astral Spirit. Had he had a Stomp to set that up, that fight would have gone even better. And I think that's what they're going for, is the Stomp into the Black Hole. That's really what they want, but you got to get some levels with your Stomp to be able to do that. Until then, he'll have to walk in and use his Black Hole just manually, without a blink or anything along that to set it up. So the fact that he got that Black Hole without a blink, without Stomp, is pretty impressive to say the least. So with that fight, that's going to pick him up some farm, it's going to pick him up the Roshan and the Aegis, and it's going to give them some decent items to look and really just work forward to the late game with. So as of right now, that should give them a little bit of a lead here in terms of this game.
Yeah, I have to say, I don't find 25 wins on an Enigma a lot, especially not with around TI2 everybody picked Enigmas and Tidehunters and those teamfight heroes and stuff like that, so kind of disappointed about the number. I thought it was more. In the meantime, Funnick is looking to be stalked. We've got Mantis not yet ready with his Orchid, and actually he doesn't go for Funnick because Funnick just stays real safe on the lane next to the tower. I mean, that's going to be good for Na'Vi. They can't fight for a while. They don't have a Black Hole. They don't have the Eclipse. They're going to just continue getting their items up. Don't be too cocky in the lanes, and when everything is up again, I wouldn't be surprised if they try to 5-man, or if they hope that, or try to bait something out for NEXT.kz to go 5-manning and then go in on that one, which they did this time, of course.
Yeah, this is the time where they farm up. They can't push yet. You can see there's still a lot of tier 1 towers left. It's hard to fight into a Dream Coil on a Waning Rift. On top of course, the Bristleback, which is a really just good defense hero. On top, of course, equal playing the Chen. So this is the time where both teams are going to farm. However, the people that benefit most from the farm is going to be Luna, just because she's got glaives and doesn't have a Midas. That's not necessarily important. Obviously, Clinks is not even... He's getting his Orchid now. I think it's flying out to him, which is a 15-minute Orchid. That's ridiculous and disgusting. So that's good. So the next fight he'll have an Orchid, which means that's a lot of damage. Mech is done for the Chen as well. So even though Puppy had a really good time in the jungle, Chen gets his mech not too far off what Puppy did, and now they've got a lot of fighting potential and a Vanguard, albeit a little bit late for a Bristleback. Still a nice item to have at 15 minutes into the game. So
yeah, even if indeed he has been kind of shut down, that Vanguard makes everything okay again. He will be tanky enough to survive in a longer fight, and with that, of course, get his quills off. We do have the smoke up once again, but at this point, Navi's got everything up again. They might not have enough mana to go for an Eclipse. Never mind, they do. If NEXT.kz find themselves caught out, I mean, they might be able to do something here with this Ancient stack, but it's still going to be difficult. In comes Amazing, jump forward, Dream Coil up on 2, Wadafaka goes for the Silence, gets it up on 2. Jumps forward as well, Vost actually, he could still go for the Eclipse. Doesn't want to do it next, we wanted to do it up on Wadafaka. So far, nobody dies. Ooh, Centaur Stump coming out of Vost, still alive. Looks like he'll make it. The stick charges will help him out. Oh, the orb though, the blink forward. The orb, it almost gets a double kill, but not just quite. Wadafaka will teleport himself out of mana completely, and I don't know how this is possible, but in this fight, there's not a kill whatsoever. Maybe Kuroki is going to be killed off here though. He's going to be chased down by Amazing and by Reeves. Amazing with the Demonic Burst, still taking a lot of damage from those illusions as well, and will go down. Kuroki gets a solo kill, gets killed up by the Bristleback afterwards. A Black Hole catches Mantis in the meantime, but they do see him, and they do catch him. A Boast getting the damage out, and how does he get back to full health so fast? He didn't die. Klinks goes down.
He had his Aegis.
Ah, I was gonna say, they were able to burn the Aegis. Then in the meantime, a Boast goes for the next one, equal. Eclipse getting helped out upon Reeves, and Reeves will get picked up for that triple kill for a Boast. Oh my god, he actually was able to get the triple kill out of that one, and with that...
What a fight.
Well, that was a very long fight, very controlled fight from the side of Na'Vi, kind of a sloppy fight at the end from NEXT.kz, I find, but they will pay for that one, with towers, with lives. Yeah.
That was like the best initiation you can get for NEXT.kz, and Na'Vi just survived because they had stick charges and because they had mech. And mech was used as well for Chen, and he also used his Hand of God. He used his mech twice, I think, that entire engagement. And still, they couldn't get anything done. They only got the Aegis from the Luna, and that's pretty much it. Dendi grabs a solo kill on Wadafaka as well. Looks like the Unstable came in right next to Puck. I don't know what happened there. It must have been the Shadow Blade doing work. And all of a sudden, Na'Vi has this huge lead just because of one fight that they got where they just outplayed him. The mech from Puppy came in right at the right time to save Funnick's life from the soul burn of the Orchid Malevolence. So just like that, Funnick is now up to level 11. They've got levels on all of their heroes, and they are looking good. They take a tier 1 tower, and now they're rolling. And I don't know if there's any way they can stop Avos's farm now that he's got his BKB. Now that he's got level 3 glaives and the Helmet of Dominator, his farm is going to be growing exponentially faster. So.
Oh, and Equal is going to be stumped here. The Earth Splitter doesn't hit, but I don't think it matters all that much. Nice pickup, and indeed, Na'Vi is just taking control over this game, and they have the wards to show for it. They have got the Radiant jungle under their control. Their jungle not so much, but I don't think they're looking for farm. They're just looking for these pickups, and they're getting them too. So yeah, brilliant fight coming out from Na'Vi. It is 4-11, and even though the game was very even up until that point, we now have almost 7,000 gold in favor of Na'Vi. 10k experience going the way of Na'Vi. It is that, and that's the biggest difference right here, because as we can see, there is actually 2 level 13s on the map, and even with a Klinks that has a Hand of Midas, he's not able to be higher on levels than 3 of the heroes of Na'Vi. Luckily for him, he did buy his Orchid before he died, so he does have that, and he can be hunting, but it looks like Na'Vi is not afraid of it. I mean, they have got the Gem of Truth set up on Puppy. They can just go 5-man, and who is Matt is gonna kill off? Nobody.
Yeah, he actually tried going Havos. He's been farming. Havos just uses BKB to make sure it hadn't stopped. But they can do it again, so maybe Havos is one of the few heroes he can pick off. They can also try to engage now, and when everyone's split up, NEXT.kz can do that. I mean, they have the damage, they have potential to take these heroes down. Puppy has been on point with Black Holes and his mech usage as well. There's a dig on Puck, which happens from time to time, as we've seen on Puck a lot more recently. The problem is what's that going to give you against someone like Luna, who does have that BKB puppy, who might go for a BKB eventually. He does have that gem you mentioned. He can go for a Blink Dagger as well. There's a couple of items that, you know, you could really go for. Denny can do the same, go for a BKB, and he's also got some tank ability as well as damage coming out. So we'll see what happens. You know, we'll see Navi try to look for a tier 1 tower mid, and it looks like NEXT.kz is just going to give it to him, even though there's only 4 heroes here for Navi. They're just too afraid to fight right now.
Yeah, with that black hole up, I mean, well, they maybe they're fighting. In comes the Dream Coil up on 2. There is a black hole though, and it catches Wadafaka and Reeves. Mechanism comes out to keep them up. Funny gets disrupted to save his life for a little while, and the Hand of God will still save Wadafaka. It is going to be NEXT.kz that this time is on the surviving hand, but perhaps Navi can take it back with the BKB and a Vose. The Eclipse coming out as well. It is Alchemist that dies first, Dendy down. Bristleback will die afterwards, but a Vose paid for that with his life. It's 3 for 1. The Mechanism, the Hand of God, I think equal just saved them that fight. They did still lose their tier 1 tower, but nonetheless, that could have ended way worse for NEXT.kz.
Yeah, I guess I'm a little wrong. They're not afraid to fight at all. They also did a really good job with it. Like, that was a huge blink initiation from Wadafaka. You mentioned the big, of course, Hand of God and Mech. That did save that fight. Of course, that saved the lives of many, many heroes on NEXT.kz's side. They take down Havost, which is huge. They take down a tier 1 tower, also huge. But here we go. Puppy, oh, he gets silenced on. The fight's still going, it looks like. Or maybe not. They just jumped away.
More. I think Puppy was looking for Malefist, but that silence was perfectly done by Wadafaka to make sure that he couldn't get anybody while he was on the way out. One of the things that we're going to have to look at again is in, wow, it is actually the full 3 minutes that Roshan will take to respawn. So in 2.5 from now on. Oh, Mantis. Bye, Mantis. Nice pickup for Denny. Who cares about invisible heroes, even if you don't have a Gem of True Sight near you? Even Puppy was close by, but then he just took that one with a nice stun. That Shadow Blade is working wonders for Navi, I have to say. I like, where is the Gem of True Sight from the side of NEXT.kz? Because not just is it very annoying to deal with one of their own on Puppy, but they also will have to deal with the Shadow Blade of Alchemist and the amount of wards that, of course, Navi has been placing. Some of those has been countered. There are some sentry wards up, which is indeed successful, but I feel like a Gem of True Sight might just be something that, for example, Klinks will need to make sure that he is indeed safe. Because he does need to, like, if he falls behind, so far he's still doing really nice. Especially on that worth, but if he starts falling behind, it's kind of difficult for Klinks to get back on top of that, as Puck just shows himself in the wrong place, wrong time. Solo kill from Puppy. Was that
they're
a solo
getting caught
kill?
out all over the place. Yeah, I think it was. He didn't use his black hole, but he had Midnight Pulse Malefice, and I'm sure his Eidolons did some work as well. So there must have been some sort of misplay or something. But yeah, a Gem of True Sight, I wouldn't mind that on the Klinks. I think that could do wonders for them, and they really do need to be able to pick off these ganks effectively. They can't, like, just roam in and just, you know, either farm or try. Oh, you know, this is exactly what we're talking about here. Mantis is going to get stunned up. Yep. I don't know if that's enough damage, and it's not. Dandy knows it's not.
Stomp
It's
coming
close,
out.
though.
Ooh. Indeed. The NEXT.kz with that stomp shown, Acid Spray shown, they can't really go in all too far. I mean, that's going to be the fear factor kicking in right now. NEXT.kz, they might still have quite a bit of map control, but with the knowledge that Navi has actually won quite a few fights already, they don't want to be going in too far. They don't want to get picked off, and they are kind of afraid to take full advantage of the control over the map that they actually have.
Yeah, absolutely. But the control is going to change.
I think that should be a kill. Pierogi actually kind of fast there. Walks at the high ground, will live.
This is why Blinks is a thing. This is why Blink on Klinks is a thing, because that's just what happens. People walk away from you. You can't maximize your DPS unless you're right up next to the person. So you blink in forward and you try to get that kill. Instead, Mantis doesn't have a blink, obviously, and you know, it'd be nice to have, but he's actually going to get ganked. He is in a lot of trouble.
Yep, and he cannot get away. That's going to be a very clean kill. Demonic Purge used for that. That's a very short cooldown spell, by the way. I almost forgot like how strong that could be on the Shadow Demon. He's already got that at level 3, or 2 rather. And it's just such a great spell, especially if you're, for example, chasing down a Bristleback. Just makes him slower. Same thing goes for Puck. Even the phase shift doesn't last long enough for the Demonic Purge to go completely off. We'll see a Navi going for Roshan. They don't have a medallion, but they do have quite a lot of damage coming out, and I don't think that NEXT.kz without a Klinks is going to be able to fight it, especially not knowing that Puppy has his black hole up. Perhaps we're gonna see something happen though. Equal looks to be picked off there. The mechanism already gone. There's still a Hand of God though, but Dendy, he looks to be able to make himself out. That's gonna be him sent back home. Amazing that is. Equal is still in some trouble though, getting chased down. In comes a Blink Dream Co-op on 2. Test of Faith! Alchemist goes down to a neutral though, because there is a small camp bashing on people. Chen still gets picked up by Kuroki. It's a 1 for 2 in the, well, 1 for 1 in the end. But the one that died on Na'Vi, of course, I mean the neutral. You can't play like that wasn't intended. Like, of course it was nice for Na'Vi, but that was, you can't plan that. That's just not possible.
That's just Na'Vi getting extraordinarily lucky, and Denny's like, alright, I'll take it. I mean, he should have by all means died to that Puck or that Chen or something.
Yes.
But not to neutral camp. That neutral camp just like, get out of our camp, it hits him once and he dies. Very luckily. I mean, that's a small camp. So that's like, he must have been real low for that
test of faith, I mean, that test of faith, it's of course a bit of random damage. The amount of luck that he just had to make that test of faith so high, it was a very high test of faith, that he was only left with so little health. The group could take him down.
Yep, that's just Dendy's luck there.
Yep.
That's fine. I guess he's not going to complain about it, so whatever. I mean, and with that kill, I mean, they were aggressive there. You can see the Puck still doing a lot of work here. Puck has been very effective. His damage has really been outstanding. The problem is, though, Havos doesn't care about Puck's damage. He's got a BKB now. He's got a Mantis style. He's got a Helmet of the Dominator. He's got damage up the wazoo, and he's going to keep getting damage up the wazoo, including probably a Butterfly next. That's generally the progression of Luna's items, is you get your Treads, you get, you know, of course, the Helmet of the Dominator, Mantis style, or BKB, one of those two first. Then, after that, really, Butterfly into Satanic is really where Havos is going to go. And once those two items are up, there's really, I don't think, any way they can beat him, even with a Clinks, who does have a BKB. You look at the items of Havos compared to the Clinks, it's just a night and day difference. And the net worth should show that as well, and it does. 3,000 net worth difference. So, yeah, you got a BKB, but it's nothing like, and I said before, Blink does maximize the Clinks' DPS effectively, but he could go for like a crit or something. I mean, he's not going to be looking for pickoffs anymore. I think Navi's going to be playing for 5-man, so pickoff central is not really what's going to be happening. I say they're playing for 5-man, but they're split up right now, farming different lanes, so I guess that's not necessarily true.
Pay for that. The Dream Coil comes out. Whoa, BKB, he runs away from that Dream Coil, but he's still taking a lot of damage. He might not be able to have a big impact on the next fight. He does have an Aegis, though, and he will be using it. In comes the Hand of God. Nobody has died yet apart from that Aegis going down. More BKBs being popped. This one up on Mantis. The Black Hole instantly cancelled by Amazing Puppy. Not able to help his team the way he wanted to, as Reeves should be picked off. Indeed, he is. Still, Elder Titan drops as well. Amazing. He'll be hexed up. It is a Crystal Maiden that dies. I mean, it's 3-4-1. Still very good fight for Na'Vi, despite the Aegis being popped. Or maybe because the Aegis being popped. Equal, he'll get picked up as well. That's only Mantis left alive. And that is a very good fight for Na'Vi. But I have to say, that was also just a bit, maybe a bit overconfident from NEXT.kz.
It really was. Like, yeah, you wanted to get the Aegis. Okay, you got it. Was it really worth it? No. It really wasn't, no. And that's with a canceled Black Hole as well. I mean, like, if Puppy had gotten a Black Hole off on, like, at least 2 people, maybe even 1, that wasn't canceled, how do you think that fight goes? I think everyone gets killed, but it doesn't happen. And they're lucky they didn't lose everybody, because Na'Vi was on a warpath. Havos is just like, yeah, okay, that's whatever, an Aegis, I don't care, I've got items, I can kill you now. And he really did, so now they'll take a tier 2 tower. There's all the tier 2s left in the map, and then he's going to hunt. He'll throw, of course, the unstable to hunt Mantis. Doesn't matter. He's just going to push him back. Fortification's going to fly, and they can try to defend this even without Black Hole. I feel like Na'Vi should be able to do a good job of defending, or attacking, excuse me. They don't have Eclipse either, though, so they look like they want to back off and just wait for their abilities to be up and for them to get their next items as well, and then they're going to really look for a push in a couple of minutes.
Yeah, they're playing fairly safe for their doing, I have to say. I mean, they're ahead, obviously, and they know that, too. They just don't want to throw it away. I don't blame them because, as said, you know, normally, in the last couple of seasons, especially before TA3, you'd notice that the teams might not have as high of priority for StarLadder as they used to. But they can't afford to lose that many more games. And this season, I mean, there's already over 112k prize pool. You can't.
Yeah, if there's any season that they gotta go for, it's this one. This one they really need to go
try hard this season. You can't test out things like you maybe normally would, as we do have Dendy charging up the stun. Equal, he'll die. No Hand of God, no mechanism. He'll not even use those. Head of God was actually still on cooldown, but they can't afford not to go try hard. So you can't blame them for playing as careful as they are right now.
Yeah, I mean, they really do need to win these games. You mentioned they were like 3-3, I think, at the start of the day. They've got to take these victories, especially up against teams like NEXT.kz who have like 9-2 as their record. So, you know, they're playing an extraordinary game, and really they shouldn't lose this one with the way Na'Vi is winning right now. Mantis is getting ganked as well, and yeah, he's done. He is dead. That's a huge kill for them too, so.
I really like this hand of, a scythe of ice upon the Enigma. I mean, if there is indeed Mantis coming around, first of all, he sees it because he has the gem. There's a Malefice, there's a Hex, buying time. What are you doing, Havost? Dude! Your whole team is on the other side of the map. He is gonna die here. Dagon, that's gonna be what, like?
Come on, man.
Oh, disruption! It looks like Na'Vi might be looking to pick or to finish this off. The Reeves is gonna get sent back home, and that's gonna be the end of that one. That was, I mean, that was just the typical Havost, get back, and then he didn't.
Come on, man. Why you gotta be like that, Havost?
Yeah.
Why do you gotta be pushing up? Why do you gotta die? You have the game in hand, and I understand he wants to farm and be aggressive, but like that's just, you don't need to do that. You're just showing off now. Yeah, it's just too much.
Though on the other side, if he was actually able to get something going there, if he was able to get a couple of kills, then you know, we would have applauded him. So it's a bit of a do it or die kind of thing, and you know, I can't blame him for trying. It's just that he shouldn't have. Like I just made a case. I just made a case on why they should be careful. Please heed my words, heed my call. Oh, there's actually is there a Warcraft 3 some guy that says heed my call?
Yeah, it's that's the shaman. It's the orc shaman.
Cool, I remember that.
You're right. Yeah, you got it.
I did. Well, we're gonna see Equal walking forward. He's looking for. They're on the hunt. They're looking for. I don't think they can be fast enough. Maybe Mantis is, but no. It's nighttime, so they didn't actually see Puppet, they only saw the Eidolons. And actually, with Funnick coming in, is he gonna continue moving forward here? Are they gonna try this? Funnick actually has got himself a Rod of Athos. Rod of Athos.
What is it? Yeah, I think you mean Rod of... Yeah, nope, you said it. I was gonna correct you, but you said it, got it, good. Excellent.
You taught me well. He's already slowed down Equal. They're gonna try to maybe take him out. In goes motherfucker though. BKB central heal for Havost and Dandy. BKB up on Mantis as well. He looks for Dandy. In comes the Earth Splitter. It's gonna be doing quite a lot of damage, especially to Equal and to Amazing, but they're still able to have a big impact on the game. Reeves will be the second one to die, as Enigma, before he could put on his black hole, already died. Freezing Field gets interrupted. Havost, he'll get dropped here. Mantis will follow after him. It is gonna be a 4-4-2. 4-for-3, never mind. Hello, motherfucker. Welcome to the fight, and welcome back to the fight, I should say. Is Dagon making a difference there, and that's good. Denny gotta make sure that this is gonna be a team wipe. The punch comes out from Kuroki. Triple kill for the Shadow Demon. Oh my god, the Shadow Demon is sitting on 4k gold.
He's pretty happy with that fight. What a man fight that was. They went to town. Havost is like, I don't care if I'm low, I want to get these kills. You could see at the end, Puck wanted Kuroki, he couldn't get the kill there. Reeves was very low that entire fight. I mean, Havost just does too much damage, just way too much damage. Mantis gets blown up, Amazing dies quickly, so does Equal. It's just too much damage to deal with. All of that without a black hole, mind you. All of that without an eclipse, mind you. I mean, there was a stomp, there was the splitter coming out from the other type, which did a bit of damage. Kuroki did a nice job of disrupting a target right before that Earth Splitter went off. Timed it correctly. Unfortunately, they can't really take this tier 2 tower, as they don't have Dendy, they have to back off. They do win the fight, but like, they get really nothing out of it except for gold and experience, obviously, which no one's going to complain about. But this has been man fight central for both of these teams. They're laying it all on the line. Sadly, for NEXT.kz, they're losing. Every single fight, it just keeps going down and down and down. As Na'Vi, like, if they take another fight, they should probably get GG here, because it's just getting too much farm for Havost, too much farm for Dendy as well. And these are two heroes you don't want to have to deal with in the late game. And just like that, Havost picks up his butterfly. That's even worse for NEXT.kz.
Yeah, I have to say, these Roshans, I mean, they're sometimes responding like directly after after the secondary clock is shown, but again, this is like 2 minutes and 55 seconds before the next Roshan is here. After the after the 8 minutes have passed, they're like very unlucky here with long cooldowns on the Roshan, and I think that's going to be the difference. Like Na'Vi, they need an Aegis to be able to fight this, and right now they are in the position to fight this the Roshan. I mean, they should be able to win this. Oh, equal. What are you doing there? Hand of God comes out. In the meantime, there's a different engagement going on elsewhere, where Puck was able to take down the Enigma, but Enigma took down a Klinks. We are gonna see what the fuck, maybe in some trouble though. He might be able to blink himself away. He is indeed able to do that. Orbs himself into the tree line as well. This tree line is open for business though, but they are not gonna go in anymore.
Wow, what a juke. What a juke. He just broke Funnick's ankles, I gotta say, but it was still a 2-for-1 trade up top. You saw that Hand of God come out. They were trying to save Mantis, who was getting very low. Puppy black holed him, but they actually silenced him and stopped it. So they, of course, did a really nice job, I think, driving that kill despite losing Puppy. But yeah, I mean, just they wanted to kill Mantis. So Vos takes a Dagon, whatever number Dagon that is, to the face.
Oh, then he stunned himself.
It's taken 5. Holy crap, that's max damage Dagon. I didn't even notice that. Alright.
It's quite painful, and I mean, he has been able to pick off a lot of people with that. This is only the 3rd rod of AY built on Elder Titan. Oh, he's not been having that much luck with it. Well, that's a shame for Funnick.
I bet Bulba's built the other 2. Probably.
Who?
Bulba. Nah, just kidding. I don't know. It might be him, it might not be.
The clock is almost down to 0. I think that Na'Vi should be able to take the Roshan fairly easy. Though NEXT.kz, they don't have any wards around. I'm expecting them to still know it's going to happen. Are you expecting them to try and counter it?
They're grouping up.
Yeah, because
I think they might.
I think they maybe need to.
They do. They need to fight. They can't really let that go. That's if there's an Aegis on Havoska, they definitely lose. They can't deal with that. They are going to smoke up. They're going to find a kill here, I think. Don't go into the rush pit. Go up to the high ground. Oh, Dendy, no!
Dendy and Avos. In comes BKBs for everybody. Where is the rest of Na'Vi when you need them? They're going to find themselves maybe a kill on Avos. But Avos runs. Pop the Manta. Will live. Backs up to his tier 2. Reeves still chasing. But Reeves actually now on the back foot with a losing beam. Havos back into safety. Needs to get rid of those stacks of Quills and actually gets dagoned to death by the motherfucker Puck. In comes Kuroki. He might be a saving grace. Maybe he'll get himself another triple kill and goes on Reeves. And that's indeed 1 dead. 4 to go. Puppy, no black hole for him this fight because he already used it earlier on. With the Enchantress, or with the Crystal Maiden also dying though, that was Avos still picking up that kill. It should be a Roshan go the way of Na'Vi because they did not lose a single hero. Apart from the bought back Luna, I was gonna say, because she did die.
Yes, that's correct. And they're gonna give the Aegis now. I mean, that's as good as you can get. I think they should have backed after Vos, but there was really no way because Dendy was like, alright, we're fighting now. And so they just threw up the unstable concoction. So also, Dendy is getting farmed, and this is like, if Havos dies, they also have someone to rely on for, you know, right-click damage. That's Dendy. No black hole in that initiation, but they can go for it now with Puppy on the high ground if necessary. They should be able to breach high ground here on the tier 3 without Reeves. They could probably do a nice job. Of course, the Glaives, just too much damage. Dagon 5 going into Havos. He doesn't even care. Look at that life regen as well. It's just too much with Urine coming through, so it's an easy tier 3 for them.
Yeah, easy Rex for them as well. Reeves is needed to fight this, and he will be back up in a second, but he was dead before, of course. There's only one tier 2 tower left standing, so Na'Vi, they can only rotate top with bottom still untouchable. We'll see if NEXT.kz can fight this though, because Reeves is having a lot of issues with that soul catcher that keeps being put on him. In comes the BKB and Avos. He definitely wants to fight. Gets himself a kill on the Crystal Maiden. Now looks for Equal. Equal picked up as well. Mantis. Oh, his BKB is on, but I don't think that he cares. Havos, very low, but he, of course, still has an Aegis. Will be having it burned from the quills coming out from Reeves. Still, Reeves who was able to live through all of it. But in the end, it's 3-4-0, and that is going to be a second set of racks. Na'Vi, they are looking solid, they are looking golden, they're looking good to take this fight home, I think. Earth Splitter coming out, Reeves. Motherfucker will not get hit by that, but I don't think it matters. The Hexes come out, the GG gets cold. Na'Vi win themselves this game, while NEXT.kz see themselves lose 2 games in a row here today in StarLadder, day 17. But Na'Vi definitely a needed victory as well. They will need to win again though. Their next match is up against Virtus Pro, and that is coming after, like right now, in about 12 minutes time.
Yeah, just a great game coming out from Na'Vi here. Really good stuff, really good draft as well. Denny did fantastically in the mid lane. Puppy had some really great black holes early. He didn't really need them later on. Once he got a side device, he was able to control the fight as much as he wanted to with Mech. Alchemist got his farm for Dendy. He just really started right-clicking, and if Host just said, alright, I'm done. I'm done getting killed. I'm just going to kill everyone right now. And with 697 GPM, not bad for him. Funnick as well played a great game. And NEXT.kz, you know, they started off real strong, and right now, losing, you know, a couple of games in the past couple of days, they got to get it together.
Yeah, they definitely do need to do that. I have to just give one honorary mention to Kuroki, because I'm normally not a big fan of Shadow Demon, because he's fairly promoting safe plays, because he'll just, you know, stop initiations, etc. But, I mean, he played a killer Shadow Demon. He even got enough gold for his own side of the ice without Hannah Midases. Yes, so that's good. We're gonna see ourselves Navi again. Let's see if they go for another Shadow Demon, or if they go for something else entirely. We're gonna see Navi versus Virtus Pro, and of course you're still watching StarLadder Star Series. It is still day 17, and this was game 2 of 6 games today. We're gonna jump ourselves to the 3rd game, so don't go anywhere.